Welcome back, old subscribers, and for the newcomers, a warm welcome awaits you all. Today, we go on a life-changing journey. One that takes us right beyond the limits of any modern time management system to the very heart of ancient wisdom. In the hustle and bustle of all our activities, time often appears to be that elusive opponent, always running away as we are just about to catch it. But not today, for we are going to unleash 6 Stoic strategies that promise to revolutionize how we see time and spend it. We'll draw from ageless wisdom by Stoic philosophers such as Seneca, Marcus Aurelius, and Epictetus to share principles that enhance productivity and at the same time imbue our routine actions with purpose and fulfillment. No matter if you are an advanced seeker of wisdom or just new to the world of Stoicism, let me extend a warm welcome to you on board this great, adventurous journey. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share this video in order to bless the Stoic wisdom to all reaches. And don't forget to switch on that little bell. It will make sure you're the first to know about the next great wisdom that I share. Without further ado, let's get down to the deepest parts of Stoic philosophy to unlock the secrets of good time management. We suffer more often in imagination than in reality, said Seneca aptly. We should feel this quote now and let our focus come back to the present moment, striving to master over time. Let's be. In the haste of modern life, time often tends to slip through our fingers as we juggle the numerous tasks that stand before us on a daily basis. Their worth pitted against the urgent need to act now. Ancient Stoic philosophers provide timeless wisdom on how to master your schedule, maximize productivity, and make sure your actions are in line with your core values. Let's examine some of the Stoic strategies that can transform how we treat time. Principle 1, embrace the present. The quote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality," reminds the great Stoic philosopher Seneca. What a deep statement that roots us in the now. Empowering oneself to focus only on the task at hand reduces distractions, decreases stress, and increases productivity. Mindfulness in our work ensures we are giving our absolute best effort in the current moment, rather than being concerned with future tasks or past mistakes. In a world filled with distractions and an eternal to-do list, the wisdom of Seneca really stands out as a gleaming beacon. What we have is now, not the what-ifs and if-onlys. This focus sharpens our mind, allowing us to deal with tasks at hand more clearly and effectively. Mindfulness changes how we conduct work. It is about full engagement, pouring our energy into what we are doing right now. This heightens our productivity and creates a sense of calm and satisfaction because we aren't carrying the anxiety of future uncertainties or past errors anymore. It unleashes our potential. Because it is only when we embrace the present that each task will soon be doable, and that our energy will not be dissipated by distractions in many directions. Embracing this Stoic practice empowers our productivity and peace of mind to live fully in the moment, making the most of our time. Principle 2, prioritize with purpose. Ask yourself at every moment, is this necessary? Said Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and Stoic sage. It's this succinct yet profound question where we learn to begin separating the clamor from the daily demands. By really paying attention to what matters to you most and advances your goals, you will be able to eliminate busy work and focus on what counts. This purposeful approach will make one work not only more productively, but also surely in the right direction. It may surely be an overkill and is easy to become overwhelmed by the number of trivial tasks and distractions in our high-paced world. Marcus Aurelius' advice cuts to the core by insisting we treat each and every action as possibly unnecessary. This practice encourages us to focus on what is truly important and discard the rest. Is this necessary? By doing so, we streamline our moves to engage only in those that have value. This serves as a filter. though it helps us mark and clear activities that do not add value. It does point at the need to ensure the use of time and energy on the right thing to make sure the means used really match the desired end. The Stoic approach will thus enhance a meaningful and purposeful mode of living. It will guide us not to do anything that lacks real meaning to it, hence boosting productivity and injecting actions with meaningfulness. This way, a focused, efficient, and highly productive life that will be anchored in highly important issues will be experienced in every moment. Principle 3. Master the art of saying no. Another Stoic sage, Epictetus, underscored that what really matters is not simply how we spend our time, but how we set our boundaries. Learning to say no is key if one is going to overcome the incessant demands in today's world. Saying no won't mean that you have abandoned your responsibilities. It means saving your time for only the most important activities. It will mean that you say no to things that are not relevant and thus save space in your schedule for activities that are aligned with your values and goals. The safeguard of our time for what truly matters can thus be achieved with such a filter. As we live in this fast-paced world nowadays, distractions are endless and the demands on our time are relentless. Setting boundaries is a necessary defense against such a threat. As Epictetus would put it, in learning to say no, we take control of our time and check the way our time is going down the drain. But what would the act of saying no do? Not a refusal of responsibility. Saying no proves a commitment to what matters. Every yes we give to non-essential tasks chips away at the time available for our most important activities. Therefore, learning to say no in a discretionary manner to commitments not consistent with our fundamental values and goals opens space for what is genuinely nourishing in the course of life. This kind of carefulness in time consuming lifts productivity and well-being. Epictetus' philosophy has a way of inspiring us to choose only those choices that reflect our ultimate priorities. Honoring our time through a discipline of setting boundaries is a sign of respect for our values. Our efforts, therefore, are directed where they can create the most impact. A productive and purposeful life is developed and driven by Principle 4. Practice discipline and routine. Disciplined time management is the bedrock. This timeless truth is reiterated by the sage Epictetus. I quote, "No great thing is created suddenly." End of quote. The setting up of disciplined routines carves out a structured environment where productivity may blossom. This is so because building habits forms part of the very slow, systematic process of self-improvement, directing one toward his long-term goals while at the same time keeping the person in conformity with one's values. A well-thought-out routine insulates us from frittering away too much time and leads us toward the path of maximum efficiency. In cultivating habits and discipline in our routines, we set a strong foundation for the continuum of progress, always letting the actions in our days be congruent with our high aspirations. Discipline is that which runs through the very warp and weft of human excellence. The wisdom of Epictetus reveals not in the form of a lightning-like epiphany, but in the great byproduct of the culmination of discipline, methodical striving. It is through disciplined routines that we can build a refuge for productivity, a sanctuary in which every dutifully built action knows how to march purposefully to the noblest order of our ambitions. Consistency is the compass that leads us through the puzzle of daily tasks to the shores of prosperity. With every habitual step, we come closer and closer to the realization that we are gaining ground on the things that we've set out to do, and that realization is enclosed knowing our actions are in accordance to our very own spirit. A meticulously planned routine is the tool of the artisan, making masterpieces out of our day's efficiency and productivity. It is through the cultivation of disciplined habits that we will carve away all the excess and be left with a high-polished gem that is our potential. Discipline is the path of self-discovery. Arduous. Yes, in so many ways, but also filled with hidden treasures at each level. Each time we need to be disciplined in an act, we lay one more brick at the base of that which we will achieve, building a path towards the realization of dreams that others would call grandiose. Principle 5. Reflect and refine. The Stoics are ancient, noble philosophers. Seneca, in his great wisdom, prescribed nightly examinations of our deeds for concurrence with the inner self. And in the fading of the hours, let us glance for a moment into the mirror of our soul. Were we then true to the pillars of our character, our efforts steered by the beacon of our purpose? Every day we engage in this routine, which becomes almost an eternal journey of ways to better our time management, fine-tuning it day by day. This sacred practice acts like a compass, steering us down the path of meaningful productivity and making sure that our daily labors propel us toward the summit of aspirations. In the murmured halls of night, beneath twinkling aegis of star, herein lies haven for our nightly introspection. Seneca counsels that we should confront ourselves with brute honesty, should examine the specks of time with keen insight. Had our deeds been singing in harmony with the tune of our values, much less with the song of our mission? And on this trip to the interior, we identify the ins and outs of our personalities and chart a course toward growth. The nightly review is a sacred rite, a crucible for transformation and growth. It's the forge where we temper our time management strategies, distilling the essence of our experiences into pearls of wisdom. With each nocturnal contemplation, one emerges anew, pinioning the will to carve out a life of significance, so that we may turn it into a habit. We tend the garden of our inner selves as we care for the seeds of excellence that the nobleman has planted in our lives. Each evening review holds before the aspiring self a renewal of vows to live as a person on a mission, to allow no step to forget the stamp of his commitment to greatness. Principle 6. Welcome the peace of acceptance. In the larger drama of unfolding life, every moment does not necessarily play out according to our script. Of course, the Stoics, our ancient and revered teachers in wisdom, have a profound lesson in this art of acceptance. Amor fati. The cherished doctrine of the love of fate calls us to accept whatever time confers on us and find its treasures of value. Such an attitude, resting quietly in a state of acceptance, brings tonic to the soul for a relieved burden of stress and strengthened resilience. With the guidance of Amor fati, we plow through these stormy seas of uncertainty in this life with calmness and come out undisturbed, always productive in the face of unforeseen trials. In the coil of life, the threads of luck and ill luck may be so intertwined as to weave a figure which mortal intelligence can hardly trace in its windings. The Stoic creed commands us to open-handedly embrace that cosmic dance, greeting each turn of fortune with a tranquil heart. It urges us not merely to barge through the vagaries of existence, but to pay heed to them passionately, knowing that in every burden there lies a whisper of maturation. Acceptance in itself becomes a bulwark against the tempests of life. Resigning ourselves to events and finding meaning in every circumstance liberates us from the shackles of apathy and anxiety. Amor fati lights a torch of resilience within us to the degree that we adapt to the ceaseless flux of fortune and remain sustaining in our productivity. It gives us a deep feeling of inner peace and a sense of sufficiency. No longer do we find ourselves battling against fate's currents, but rather are able to embrace them as an integral facet of our being. With each unsuspected twist of being thrown onto the way of our life, we grow stronger, more agile, more attuned to the rhythms with which the symphony of life plays. Amor fati will be our guiding mantra, enlightening the way towards an undertaking of an always-will life of productivity and fulfillment. The Stoic principles embrace time management to pursue the very essence of enhancing productivity without deviating from our values. Embracing the now, setting priorities with purpose, ability to be a master of yes, discipline, reflection consistently, and learning to accept what comes will be the ways to move toward time. For, as the wise Marcus Aurelius declared, I quote, "Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one." End of quote. Let us be these Stoic teachings and construct a life where there is meaning in every moment and it serves some purpose. As we conclude our tour of Stoic effective time management techniques, I want to invite you to take one moment to reflect profoundly on the insights that were shared with us here today. Each uncovered principle has a pathway toward greater productivity, more fulfillment, and more value-based living. Now, dear viewers, I would like to hear from you. Which part of today's session touched you most deeply? Was it the call for full embrace in the moment, the reminder to prioritize on purpose, or maybe the encouragement to learn to say no despite it all? Was it establishing discipline and routine, regular reflection, or serenity and acceptance? Next, consider how you might make use of these Stoic strategies in your life. This is the area where you think you would do better by upgrading your time management skills. Whether at work, in your personal life, or in following your passions, there's always room for improvement. Do share your thoughts, insights, and experience in the comment section below. Let us continue this conversation beyond the confinements of this video in the comment section below. Remember, sharing is caring. Feel free to share this video with your family and friends so that others could also get the answer from this secret wisdom. Let's spread the Stoic teachings far and wide together for the empowering of each other to live a life of purpose and productivity. Thanks for joining us on this illuminating journey. Until next time, stay inspired, stay focused, and stay Stoic.